Hello, everyone. So come things invest. We're talking about investing, finance, and professional development for 30 seconds only. The investment I'm going to talk today would be Ethereum ticket take. First, I want to say happy Wednesday, everybody. For a great week so far. Respect to recording time of 9:44 a.m. on the Eastern Time. Ethereum coin trading $4,196, down about 0.32% so far. As you can see clearly, overall the crypto market is kind of trading on a sideways fashion, relatively flat today, right? With selective coins a little bit more prominently bearish than others, which we see here on Solana down about 5%, polkadot down about 3%, while algorand's down close to about 7% at the moment. And with respect to the overall crypto market, is still sustaining that bearish pressure. But I would say this is more of a normalization based on obviously the key factors that drove this correction, ever since the infrastructure bill that was passed 2 days ago from Joe Biden stemmed from the tax provision of the $10,000 that has to be disclosed in 1099 tax forms going forward, right? So whenever you hear anything along the line with tax or commission infrastructure or compliance, regulatory dynamics, etc., onto a financial asset, it will typically drive some sell-off because people are becoming a little bit more worried about, is that going to hinder my profit margin? And also, people were just psychologically looking for a reason to sell off or take some profit from there, right? Knowing the fact that we've been running really hot for the last 50 plus days so far, right? Ever since when we were at the bottom of the 2007-32, surge up all the way close to about just a hair away, $150 away from the 5,000 mark, right, for Ethereum, and just a hair away, for Bitcoin to hit 70K. We were like basically what, $50 away, on the verge of breaking that next new territory, right? So right now, this is just technical being, coming into fruition, and also there's still some speculations, or not speculations, but some rumor around, not, I wouldn't say even rumor. It's just more enforcement, or more media percolations around the China crackdown on crypto minings, right? So it seems like they have said something that is kind of worrisome, that they will enforce some sort of a highly regrettable consequence if one of the corporations or even just regular people like you and I were found out that they've been mining crypto secretly. It could be relatively serious consequences for these respective folks, right? So that also drives some fear among the market. So it's like a double stab in the chest type of affectation, popping the balloon, allowing for the sell-off that we're seeing, right? So on the news front, let's just take a look at it real quick. And by the way, today's my mom's birthday, so I'm actually planning to go out after this. I blocked out a couple of my calendar to actually go out to do a little bit of shopping today. She's turning 58, so I'm looking forward to getting her a gift. I don't know what I have in mind yet. I feel like every single year I'm typically buying her either like a nice pair of shoes. Like last year I got her like what did I get her last year? I think I got her like these Gucci fur loafers. And then the previous year I got her like a nice designer bags. So it's always just like, fashion related items. But I'm trying to be a little bit more creative this year. Or I don't know. I'm not that good at gifting, nor receiving gifts. I'm always kind of I don't know. So if you have any ideas, on something that is, it doesn't have to be expensive, right? And it doesn't have to be super extravagant. It just has to be thoughtful, and that's something I'm trying to understand because it's so hard to buy her things, but she's always buying stuff herself already. So, anyways, um, yeah, if you have any specific gift ideas, please, feel free to leave me some comments on the comment section below. I really appreciate it. So let's just dive into the news. So with respect to the first one on Barron's news, about 2 hours ago, talk about Bitcoin gets higher profile criticism. Is crypto bull run over? So this is basically a debate going on. Was this hype just another hype, based on public investors or retail investors? Or is this real corporate adoptions that we are further escalating going forward with this commercialization on NFT, and with the global utilization of crypto assets as a whole going forward? I would say the article is really it's not a persuasive one, nor is it they don't really have a specific bias towards one another. It's just more of a open forum on talking about the specific topics of like the sell-off that we've been seeing so far. I would say this is just technical coming true, right? Again, right, technicals never lie to us, and I think the opportune time is coming for us to buy the dip, for us to sustain the rally going forward, because net overall we're still up from basically months ago, right? So technically we're still in the bullish momentum. This is just a correction for us to sustain the rally going forward with the right monetization circulated back into the market, right? So we'll dive into the technicals in a bit, right? And the next one's on Bazinga about 13 hours ago, talk about same thing, right? Bitcoin below 60K. And also Ethereum Dogecoin also takes a beating because of the infrastructure bill that we've talked about, right? But people, like, they call this veteran traders, anyways, see buying opportunities at these levels. I truly resonate with what that means, which we'll dive into technicals in a bit, right? So the article is basically saying that the dips is coming, and these are identified technical levels, which we have been talking about. And the next article is on Bazinga about 14 hours ago, talk about Ethereum is dipping, and holding this key level is critical. Well, this is something we've been talking about, and the key critical levels are the ones that we've identified on the lines already. And then next one's on Cointelegraph, another technical analysis video with respect to a trader watch for the trend reversal after Ethereum price drops to 4,100. So 4,150 is a critical level, right? We've been trying to sustain that. We did break that last night. You could see that clearly. We were at the 4,064 at the bottom, and subsequently got recuperated back up because people bet that we do not breach below 4,000, which is the reason why we're the way we're at right now. So we'll dive into technicals in a bit. A lot of these news are just kind of non-substantive again, right? They're just talking a lot about the same thing over and over again, but nothing really isn't, not something that we already don't know. You know what I'm trying to say? And next one's on CNBC with respect to so this CryptoPunk NFT just sold for $1 million in ETF. So this is a picture of a woman or a guy with long hair, but he's wearing like red sunglasses, and yeah, and they sold for 1 million. Okay, sure. Someone bought a picture of NFT JPEG image for 1 million. So another interesting news. And then the last one's on Bazinga 21 hours ago. Talk about $155 million in Ethereum was just transferred from 2 wallets. Something we already talked about yesterday. So more non-substantive news that frankly are not that helpful. It seems like they just have a lot of volume of news, but not a lot of informative news that we actually need to know, or can change the momentum, which translates into the flat level that we're seeing right now, right? So with respect to Ethereum right now, I think the dip is definitely coming with the 43 out of 70. So as we deplete further, right, to the around like the 35, I think the bottom should technically be somewhere around like the 3,750 or 3,850, right? I think starting from the as we break below 4,000, that's a good dip for us to incur some risk, because it is relatively depleted, and you could see the sell-off might be a little bit dramatic in comparisons to the sell-off that we've had. Sell-offs that we had, right? This is I think the negative apex is slowly being formed, and I think we are slowly trying to recuperate already. So incurring some risk at the moment, 4,150 is not a bad level. So I think buying the dip at the moment is not a bad idea. I think it's a great idea for us to buy the dip somewhere around like 3,750, which is something that we've been talking about. Bitcoin right now is still selling off. I think if we break this, which we did, we will be going down to the 52,655. We will go down to the 48, basically, right? And I think we might do so, but we will test a little bit first at the 54. If contingent on if we break the core resistance levels that we have right now. I think in terms of momentum, it's the same as Ethereum. So I think it's basically betting on, do we break this current level or do we not break this current level? And you could see that clearly. 57 is the critical zone that if we do break that, we will go down below, obviously. So watch out for that. But I think right now incurring some risk is not terrible because we are relatively depleted. Well, in the more of a upper echelon of the oversold, Dogecoin right now, again, buy the dip at somewhere around like the 23 would be the fair level to 20 cents from here, right? Cardano right now is sustaining. I think the setup is relatively good, right? We are still in the death cross area, but I think we are relatively depleted with the 36 right now. So buying the dip right now is not a bad idea. We might go down back to the 176, right? But this is oversold. We could see that clearly. So I think buying somewhere around 185 would be a great. I think Cardano's a good dip right now, to be honest with you. Solana is going to sell back down even more. So I think ideally, keep saying, right? 135 all the way to 113 would be the buying zone. Right now, we're not there, and I think we might see some more. And XRP right now down 2%. So we basically contemplate, do we go up or do we go down from here? And what I mean by go up is go up above the 110 or go down below 110 to hit the 101. And I think the 101 is more logical because we did form a death cross. We still have some curvature to go back up. We're still at the 42. So ideally wait until, maybe 105 would be a good normalized level. Polkadot right now is still selling off, and ideally, again, right, to the 33 all the way to 25 would be the logical level. But I think right now, buying the dip at the 34 would be very logical, because we are at the relatively depleted level at the moment. So I'll give it a break. I think 33 or somewhere around like the mid 30ish would be a good buying zone. Algorand, I think the dip is here. To be honest with you, I think we had the 37 out of 70, so good, really good setup. I think as you approach 150, I think starting to buy at 155 or starting to buy at 160, or as we break 160 to 159 would be a good level to buy it. Shiba Inu is slowly coming together. I like this. I think we're still at the 50. So ideally, again, right, to the 2750 to the 900 from here on the dip for Shiba Inu would be much more logical. So in terms of risk management levels to dollar cost average at, because of the normalization and because of realistic scenarios that we're seeing in front of us, I have revised and trimmed a couple of the technical analysis levels. And these are levels that are revised because of the current setup. And I feel like, as we drag on a little bit further and further, the technicals would not make sense to reach to this, lower levels that we've identified prior, right? And the reason I say that I changed this and revised this is because the technical seems like it's on a reversal right now. I don't think we're in a bear market or the winter for crypto. I think this is just correction for us to sustain the rally going forward, right? So I think the opportune time is coming now. I would even suggest buying like at the moment, maybe a small chip off the table, right? Just like maybe 10% of your holding in cash onto this, would be logical for me. I'm actually thinking about doing so right now, anyways. And continue to build that up, right? And risk is definitely in more favorable setup for public investors. and this is something we've been waiting for, right? And now it's not to be greedy or to be too static or be too patient. Now it's a logical move for the long-term gains, right? So feel free to take a picture of what I'm showing here, and feel free to ask me questions. And again, for my Mother's Day's gift, not Mother's Day's gift, my mother's birthday gift. If you have any ideas, please let me know. I'm actually gonna be heading out now, but I'm gonna be checking my comments. So if you have any ideas, let me know. I'm gonna be walking around the city to like maybe to Soho, to like department stores like at Saks Fifth Avenue, or like in Bergdorf Goodman or something like that, or just walk around the city to see any inspirations comes to mind. But yeah, so I'm gonna go on a walk today. But I really appreciate you for dropping by, and stay tuned for some up. Take care.